Hi, it's Libby. I'm back on YouTube now, so hopefully I'm going to be sending videos out twice a week. So it's my plan to either film on a Thursday afternoon or Thursday morning because it's my day off. So I kind of thought it would be work really well, and it'll probably get uploaded on a Friday. Also going to probably be producing videos on Saturday, which will be uploaded on Sunday. If you subscribe to my channel, hit the notification below this video. There's a small red bar and it says subscribe. And if you click the bell, it will alert you when I produce a new video. Okay, so you can keep in the loop. So it's my idea is to actually try and build a community here. So it's not going to just talk about low waste, it's going to talk about meditation, it's going to talk about the current energy, it's going to talk about techniques and tips, how to keep yourself healthy. And, comment please below the video on anything you'd like to see. I'm hoping to produce sort of quite small videos so you don't get bombarded. I know time is precious and people don't have time to watch maybe 20-minute videos. So I'm going to keep them quite short, this one in particular. So this particular video is talking about the big four. It's actually going to be the big six because I've added a couple of items that you might help you to create a more low waste daily life. So if you look at your daily habits, you'll be drinking water. You'll maybe be drinking a drink from a cup with a straw. You might be buying a coffee from the local takeaway and buying a disposable cup. You might be still buying and using plastic, single-use plastic bags. And I think that's it really. So that's kind of the big four. Okay, so straws, drinking bottles, reusable cups, and I can't remember what the other one is. So there's four of them. I'll go through them anyway. So number one, I hope to goodness you're not still buying water in bottles. Okay, there's a big myth that says that water in bottles is healthier. There's been a lot of research in saying that that's actually not the case. Now, if like you, I toyed with the idea of how to get around this. I actually have a big Berkey water filter, so in the day at the house, I can drink water from there constantly in just a normal glass. Okay, so then I'm not using a bottle. So when I go outside and I travel quite a lot. I need to think about how much water I'm going to be drinking. So it's kind of useful to take your own cup. Now, I bought myself, this is actually a sports Berkey, and it comes from the big Berkey company. This is a BPA-free plastic cup. It's quite lightweight. And the reason I bought it is, one, because it has a handle on it, so I'm not going to lose it. And it is quite light, so it's not heavy in my bag. But also inside of here, if I undo it, you will see it has a water filter system. It's a very expensive item, which I kind of toyed with buying or not, but I decided actually it would be beneficial for my health and also for the planet, because I'm going to keep using this for years and years. You can replace the water filters, I think. So this is a really good investment, and I can actually put dirty water in here from a pond when I'm out camping, and it will filter it. I'm not going to do that, but if I was in a real dire situation, that's the best option I've got here. So this is my first option. What I used to do before I bought this, I used to use just glass bottles, okay, like this one. Now this one's got apple cider vinegar in because I make this, and this one also came as an orange juice container from the milkman, and this has got rosehip syrup that I made as well. So both of these options are glass, and they come with a metal lid. They're quite portable. They're quite heavy to take with you. So, this isn't a particularly good option, but if you don't have a plastic bottle and you have one of these, this is a better option. I have so many people come into my yoga classes still bringing plastic bottles, and I'm going to have another purge next week, and I'm going to talk about that again. I've got a lot of new students coming to my classes, and they aren't aware of my policy. My policy is I don't really allow plastic bottles into my my studio or my classes. Refillable, this sort of thing, sports bottles, I don't mind at all. That's absolutely fine. Second one, straws. Now, I'm not a big soft drink drinker. I don't drink Coca-Cola. I don't drink Fanta or anything like that. I think with sugar and I don't drink it. I drink kombucha, which is actually said that if you drink a lot of kombucha, it can affect, if you've got metal in your mouth like fillings, it can actually affect that. So about 5 years ago, I bought myself some metal straws, and they kind of already got the bend in them so you can drink them. This for me was a complete waste of money, okay? But for you, it might not be. I very rarely use these because I don't really drink out of using a straw. I take it with me, I carry it with me, but I don't ever use it. It's got a little straw cleaner, a little brush. At home, I drink a very small amount of kombucha. So again, I don't use the straws. However, if you are a straw drinker, use straws for everything you drink, Coke, lemonade, whatever. Get one of these. These are metal. They'll last you for years. Okay, I've got 4 here. Again, for me, that was a complete waste of money. People sometimes go out and buy these things and actually don't think about them. I didn't kind of really think about that. I just thought, oh, I need a straw. If I'm going to be in low waste, I need a straw. So that's the option. It's a good little investment. That cost me about £10 many years ago. They've probably come down in price because more people are buying them. So that's number 2 on the big 4. As I say, I'm doing 6. The next option is to use a refillable coffee cup. Now this I've had for probably about 5 years now. It's well travelled. It's amazing. I love it. And I take it everywhere I go. If I go travelling down to see my children on the coach or on the bus or the train, I'll take this with me. I'll fill it up at home with my coffee. And then while I'm out, I can rinse it out in the bathroom and I can get a cup of coffee from maybe Starbucks. I think the price is 50p or 25p cheaper to buy a new refillable cup. It's not the cost of what I'm saving, it's the cost to the environment. Because I know probably now a lot of the coffee takeaway companies do have now compostable cups. However, some of them don't still. And if you look at the cups, they've actually got like a plastic liner. So although they look like paper on the outside and you think, oh, this is going to be compostable, still got the plastic inside, which again is not a good thing to do. So that's the third item of the big 4. The 4th item is to refuse plastic bags. And I hope, to goodness sake, you don't have plastic in your house anymore. I don't actually have any plastic bags, so I can't show you a single plastic bag, like what you get from a shop. So I go shopping on the market quite a lot, and I nip down to Leicester and I go twice a month, and I get lots of vegetables and lots of fruit. And I like the markets because you can kind of choose what you want and there's no plastic. So I take with me my little cloth bags. I've also got some small bags with drawstrings that I've showed you before. And I think Sainsbury's and Aldi also have bags that you can buy. They're about 25-30p and they're very lightweight and you can use those on the market. When I very first started to go down to the market and I asked them to put them in the bags, they'd be a bit like, oh, what's wrong with our bag, love? And I'm like, well, I'm trying to save the planet. I'm trying to save your plastic. But now they're really kind and they'll say, oh, thank you for not having a bag because it costs them money. So the more people take your own to the market. I carry this little bag. It is so small. It literally folds into the size of a small hanky or something, yeah? So it's a little tiny pouch. It goes into my handbag and I've got a bag. So, because often, I used to go to Waitrose from, doing a client or being out at work. I used to pop in on the way to Waitrose and I'd go in for a bag of bread or something and I'd come back with armfuls of shopping. So I would buy a bag. Yeah, so those bag for life. Okay, so I'm not even a fan of those. I don't think that's a good idea because you're still encouraging yourself to buy a bag. And so many people are still lazy. You see so many people buying, oh, can I have 2 bags or can I have 4 bags? Especially at Christmas, there was one in front of me had 10 bags and she had shopping trolley full of food. And I was mindful. I took my own canvas bags. I've got some obviously heavier bags than these. This is just my little standby, which is really useful to have. So the big 4 are replace your water bottle for your single-use plastic bottles, for a proper sports bottle or a drinks container. If you haven't got one, use a glass option. Okay. Straws, if you need to have a straw. The paper straws are fine, but it's still a resource. Okay, these are metal. They're going to last me years and years and years. I might give a couple of these away to friends because I only really need one and the others are just sitting in my drawer. They come with a straw cleaner, so that's quite good. Number 3 is our reusable coffee cup. Save yourself money, save the cups from landfill and so on. And the fourth one is your cloth bag. So this is my little collection of what I do to keep Bin Zero free. The other 2 options was I had a conversation with a friend of mine and she wanted to take lunch to work and she said yes, she's got Tupperware things and she goes to takeaway and she gets Tupperware boxes and she uses those for her lunch. That's kind of okay, but when you go to the takeaway, why not retake those cups and those boxes back with you and reuse them that way? Or better still, get yourself, some Tupperware. You can get glass Tupperware with the Tupperware lid and the glass bottom. You can put your takeaway in there and you can use that. I know at first it feels really uncomfortable by saying into the Chinese takeaway, could I put my takeaway in this glass container? They might be a bit off with you when you first ask, but the more people do it, it becomes the norm. It's not the normal thing to do right now, but it can become the norm. I don't actually buy a lot of takeaways. It's very, very rarely I'll have a takeaway. Mainly, I suppose, if I go and spend some time with my daughter or my son and they buy a takeaway. And again, they've kind of gone from that. We cook our own food at home or we eat out in a nice restaurant. I often think takeaways is kind of a bit of a lazy man's thing, but that's my opinion. It might not be yours. So if you do go to takeaway, take your own containers back. So a couple of ideas for lunches. Many, many years ago, I got gifted a thermos flask. This is actually it's called the Aladdin Adventurer. Okay, and it's a flask and it's a food flask. Okay, these old-fashioned ways we used to take our own lunch in here. I've had this for absolute years and I make myself a big batch of soup. I take it with me. It's not very often I use it through the week because I'm usually at home, and I'll pour my soup out and I can have it in the car or I can have it as wherever I am, sitting on a park bench or something. But I've got my soup. That saves me a lot of money in takeaways. I could also take this and put my curry in here if I'm going to have a takeaway. Again, you're going to feel awkward and you're going to think, oh no, I'm going to put it back in my bag and I'm not going to ask for them to fill it up in that. But, break the mold, be different. Yeah, that's what 2020 is all about, is doing something different to change, to make a better result, okay? So by doing one thing, you can make 100 changes, because if one person sees somebody else in the takeaway with this, I think, oh, I've got one of those at home. I'll bring mine next time. You can also ask for a reduction on your packaging, because that packaging costs the Chinese money. Even if it's only 10 pence, it's off your takeaway. If you buy takeaways a lot, saving money. Don't take rocket science. The other thing is get one of these. I was gifted this by my daughter. It's one of the best presents I've had. Up to now, I've used it 4 times and only had it at Christmas. I only started to use it this week after my birthday. I went down to see my daughter in London and I filled it up with lots and lots of things. It comes with a little lid. It comes with a carry handle. And then it comes apart. If you watch my videos, you've seen this before. 3 sections, right? So what I did, I made some salad and things in here. Then in the second one, I put fruit. And in the third one, I put myself some power balls and a little bit of chocolate and some grapes maybe that I'd got, okay? And then it all goes into put the lid on, put it back in. And it's really, really nice to use. And it goes in my travel bag. It's not exactly heavy, along with my coffee cup. And I've got my lunch. Or if I wanted to, I can fill it up with bread. Again, take this with me and I've got my lunch. Keeps it really hot in there. So that's my extra little things that you can do. The other thing is, and it isn't a necessary item for being low waste, but it can help, especially if you use these, is to get yourself some, some bamboo cutlery. So again, I've been really quite lucky this year or last year. I got gifted a little set and it comes with a little container here. It's got a little cloth bag and it's got little pouches here to put your items in. So I've got a fork, I've got a knife, and I've got a spoon. I also put in my straw here, and I think it came with a bamboo pen, which was lovely. And I take myself my own little napkin. And again, it's got wet, sorry. But again, this helps me when I'm in my car. I can use this to keep my clothes clean. I also keep the car clean. It can be used to just sort of mop up things if I've got a spillage of something. But also when I go to a restaurant, I use my own napkin. I won't use the napkin in the restaurant. And again, you think, oh, for goodness sake, you know, it's a bit extreme. But if we all did this, we'd save a huge amount of paper being made. And it all costs money, okay? So that is my 4 essentials plus 2 extra ones, which is your little container for your sandwiches and so on, and your bamboo cutlery. Please, if you haven't got bamboo cutlery and you've got plastic, the plastic ones, that not the cheap ones that fall apart, use them once and you throw them away. If you've got like a picnic set, I've had some for many years, my kids used to use them, then use that for quite a long time. I used to use that, and I wrap it in here. I've dropped the little thing on the floor, so just use a little bit of ribbon, which came from some packaging that I had. I kept that, and it goes in my bag. You need kind of a bigger bag when you go zero free, or low waste. Really, it's called more low waste than zero free. Zero free sounds a bit weird. So low waste. So that's my video. I'm just looking down here because I've actually put together my next video, which is going to be a new Powerball that I'm going to make. I had a beautiful book gifted me from my daughter for Christmas. Oh, it's actually for my birthday. It's a vegan book, and it's got lots, I'm looking down there, it's got lots of savoury things. It's got lots of nibbles and things. So I've got some ingredients in my cupboard and I kind of wanted to use them up. So I'm going to now hop off here and I'm going to make the video. This video is 70 minutes long, a little bit longer, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some 1-minute videos on reminding you how to go zero free or low waste that particular week. All right, so I'm going to go now and I'm going to go and hop on and make this video with these Powerballs, and I'll see you very soon. You take care. Thank you. Bye bye.